thank you.
The planning board will act on a conditional use permit application with the timeline established by RSA 676-4. But if you go to 676-4, it's just, that's not even about a conditional use. That is
rules on applications and plats, isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
Right, and that sets the timelines for applications.
That's what the time
So since it's a conditional use application, it's the same thing as an application, because they don't break conditional use applications out. 674.19.
And I have
Yeah,
yet,
674.19 is talking about how the zoning ordinance applies to existing uses when the zoning ordinance is approved initially.
Okay.
It's nice and short. It has nothing, but it says nothing useful.
So it's not 1961 anymore, so that's not a problem. We're long past that. Okay, so what I was going to say before was that the changes that George referred to at the beginning, the underlined items that he went through, those were suggested at the last meeting, incorporated into the working document for this meeting, and I believe that in order to keep them there for going forward, we would need a vote on each of those 3 changes to make sure the board approves of them in the working document. This is without regard to all the stuff that we're arguing about the lapse and all that sort of stuff.
we're arguing.
We're vigorously discussing.
We're debating.
Exactly.
Arguing does not always have negative connotations.
There's no animosity involved. We're just
That's right.
discussing the issue.
Oh, don't worry, I had your car towed away and crushed into a cube.
Okay, you owe me
That's not like
$300 for it.
It's worth more as a cube.
Yeah, actually. As long as I get salvage rights, that's all right. Yeah.
Good luck getting your cassettes out of it.
I care more about that roll of Kevlar I got in the back.
8 tracks, that's right.
The roll of Kevlar is worth a hell of a lot more than that truck is.
Okay, so the 3 changes, George, the first one was on page 2 of 6, item number 7, is that correct? Does anybody want to review that again before we...
You want to do these separately or together?
I think it would be best to vote on all 3 separately.
I'll move that we accept the additions and changes. Is this an addition to what?
Well, these were suggested changes at the last meeting.
Yes, on page 2, number 7.
Would it be best to get a whole document and find out the answers to these questions on the timelines?
Which timelines?
We're talking about the conditional use, right?
No.
No, we're just talking about these 3 changes that George made to the document. This is just a working document. We're not approving this at this point. This is still working document, not an official permit or application yet. So we're just voting on this little change to the working document.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
Was there a motion?
There was a motion, but no second.
Second.
Second, okay. Any further discussion? Rob?
I would suggest a minor change to the last sentence, the last part there, where it says existing conditions may be expanded at the discretion of the planning board. I think that sort of implies that, I don't know, we would put additional restrictions on, but we may actually loosen, we or a future planning board may actually loosen the restrictions.
No, actually,
That gives us flexibility to move forward, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, it's maybe you can just, instead of saying maybe expanded, maybe just change it to maybe
Expanded
changed.
upon.
Altered?
Maybe altered, maybe changed, something like that, right? Just rather than say which direction it's gonna
Right.
be changed, you just
Yeah.
make it clear that at our discretion we or a future board
It can be changed.
can tweak stuff.
Cliff?
withdrawn.
Okay. Okay.
Would you want to amend your...
Are you asking me to?
Well, this is the discussion. So we have a motion on the floor, and we're just discussing at this point.
Persuade me.
I think that's a very good point as far as giving more lateral movement for the board.
So Rob, would you just state how you want to change that?
I would change the word expanded to the word altered.
Maybe altered at the discretion. Okay.
Did you say altered by anybody with voting?
Excuse me?
Did you say altered by anybody with voting?
For what it's
Oh,
worth,
sorry, I must
I
have misread that.
think
Sorry.
For what it's worth, I think that's a good point, Mr. Collins.
So, Booney, do you want to keep your motion or you want to withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw the motion.
Okay, motion is withdrawn. Anybody want to make a motion about changing that word?
I'll make a a motion. Can I do
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
From expanded to altered,
Mm-hmm.
on page 2 of 6, item number 7.
I would second the motion.
Okay. Any discussion? George, you had a question?
Yes, but your original concern was to accept the whole
No,
thing?
We're just gonna
first.
change the change, make the change first, then accept the whole thing. That process, okay? Okay, so we had a motion, Booney made a motion to change the word to altered, expanded to altered. You got that, George? Was there a second on that? Jim, you seconded? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. So if somebody might want to make a a motion about accepting it as changed just this moment ago, so it reads maybe altered. I don't know. Somebody? Anybody?
Okay, I will move then, Mr. Chairman, that we accept the item number 7 on page 2 of the proposal dated the 10th of October 2011.
Okay. Any seconds? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? The ayes have it. Okay. So that's okay. The second one was on page 4 of 6.
Item 10.
Yep, item 10. I think we could consider, rather than taking 2 votes here, I think we can consider these changes as one, unless anyone opposes to that idea. Rob?
I'm not opposing to that idea.
Yeah.
I would, before we go through a motion and discussion and have me suggest a change, maybe we can just start out by suggesting the change.
Great.
Okay, so the parenthetical in the middle, the assessor clerk is required to certify and then in parentheses sign the application of. I would suggest changing, getting rid of the parentheses, have it say the assessor clerk is required to certify by signing, what's that page called? By signing the abutter notification form. Or certify all abutters. Sorry, let me back up. I would suggest striking the parenthetical entirely. So it's going to read, the assessor clerk is required to certify all abutters, including those whose properties reside outside the town of Brookfield's boundary limits, comma, by signing the abutter notification form.
Just a real quick thought on that. On the abutter notification form says signature of Brookfield assessor clerk certifying accuracy of abutter list.
That's exactly right.
Right.
This connects to that, right?
Right. So the town assessor clerk, by her signature on this form, is certifying it, and that is written out for everyone to see. So by striking that, you're not really reducing the.
No, I'm saying take what the parentheses are trying to do, put it at the end of the sentence because I think it just reads better, and have that sentence end with saying it's going to certify, comma, blah blah blah, certify, blah blah blah, comma, by signing the abutter notification form.
Well, I would just, to further that thought, I don't think we need to repeat the idea in the sentence, because the assessor clerk has to sign the document, and right where the assessor clerk signs it, it says certifying accuracy of abutter list. So it should be plain to all who read the document that she's signing it, and that counts as certification. So,
okay.
So I don't think we need to repeat the idea. We could just strike the parenthetical completely in that.
I would be okay with that.
Yeah, but leave the underlined stuff.
Yes, I'm not proposing any changes with
Right.
that stuff.
Okay, sounds like a reasonable thing to me. Anyone want to make a motion on that idea?
So we're striking the parentheticals, and that's it.
Well, if somebody makes a motion.
Oh, well, we're picking on stuff. We should probably move using the attached address form to the end of the sentence.
And actually, probably should refer. Actually, now you mention it, probably should refer by name to that abutter notification form.
Yes.
So change that, you're saying, so using the attached abutter what's it called there? Abutter notification form.
I think a suggestion was make it start with provide the names and addresses of all abutters, including those whose properties reside outside the town of Brookfield's boundary limits per RSA, whatever, comma,
Yeah.
On the abutter notification form. Or something
Comma
like that.
using the
Yeah, that would be good.
attached abutter notification. Yeah, okay. So yeah, just provide the first word of the sentence, and then take that whole initial clause and stick it at the end with a comma.
Except change the
word.
address form to,
Abutter notification form.
yeah.
Is that clear as mud, George?
Clear as mud.
Any other suggested changes?
To the form?
No, to just number 10 there.
No.
Good.
Okay, so as the suggestion goes, this is how it would read. Provide the names and addresses of all abutters, including those whose properties reside outside the town of Brookfield's boundary limits per RSA 676-4, comma, using the attached abutter notification form. Use the included address form. I would suggest we strike that and change it to abutter form. And be sure to have the assessor clerk verify the accuracy of the information. The assessor clerk is required to certify all abutters, including those whose properties reside outside the town of Brookfield's boundary limits. Include with your application 3 sets of pre-printed mailing labels with the names of all abutters. Also include 3 sets of USPS certified and mail and return receipt forms pre-filled with the abutters' names. Does that match up with? No, it doesn't. 3 address labels. Yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that matches what the form says. Okay. So that's what it would say at that point. Still clear as mud?
Yep.
Good. So I'm just going to suggest that that second sentence that we did not actually change, use the included address form, should also mirror use the included abutter form, abutter notification form. Is everybody clear on that?
Yes.
Yes.
So does anybody want to make a motion?
I would move that we accept line 10, page 4 of 6, as amended.
I would second.
George, have you got all those amendments? Okay.
Want a few more?
Please.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye, please. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? Guys have it. Okay.
So, Tom, just,
Yes.
I don't want to derail getting through these changes. I just want to note that, like, item 11 refers to an address form still.
Oh, didn't know about that.
So either we maybe need to add an address form or something. I mean, we asked for names and addresses of lots of things.
Right.
The abutters are different because they need to be certified.
Yep.
Right, but I'm not sure. We have to decide on that, but I mean, we should probably just make sure that we figure out that it all links together appropriately and how we want it. But
Well, it also doesn't match the format of above. 7, 8, 9 asks for names and addresses. So perhaps we should just change the format there on 11 to match 7, 8, and 9.
Good idea.
And then just say, I don't know.
well, the
But
11 needs to have the pre-printed labels as well. It looks like.
You're right.
So it's more like 10.
George is
I was just going to say, if it's okay, Mr. Chairman,
Yeah, go ahead.
that one possibility might be refer to the attached notification form. And the reason is because on the notification form itself, on number 2 of the notification form, it talks about attaching a separate sheet. Attach a separate sheet to include the name, mailing address, date, time, phone numbers, so the applicant, applicant's agent, and land surveyor, engineer, architectural scientist. So that may be another possibility.
Well, now that you mention that, my instinct would be to strike it, because that doesn't have anything to do with the butters, even though we still need it. I mean, I'd rather maybe develop a different form specifically for those things.
I think, I don't disagree with that, Tom. I think that the reason it's there is because 674.4.1b talks about both abutters and engineers.
Right.
I think that's how it ended up together, because it's in the same.
Right, because this
section.
is from the other. We just copied it verbatim from our other application that is overcrowded.
Right.